I've been in the renovating game for 18 years. An investor for 15. I have done a total of 36 renovations. I take homes that look like this and turn them into this. Welcome to Catapulting Change. Yo, what's up? It's your boy KB. Hey, listen, it's Wake Up Wednesday, guys. I know I normally do this early, but right now I'm grinding. When I say grinding, I am grinding. Not only am I running a business, but I'm working in the business to make it happen. So I'm doing what I got to do right now. No excuses. Look, I know it's Wednesday, guys, and I hope and I really pray that you had a blessed day and that you made it happen today, no matter what. I know some of us are going through some things. There's a lot of changes happening to the economy. Market's correcting itself. S&P done dropped down again, etc. Probably some people's stocks have lost if you're not a technical analysis trader. But that's why you got to get the education to learn how to trade yourself. When you become a technical analysis trader, you make money when the market goes up or down. You just need to understand the trend. But look, guys, who cares what day of the week it is? This is the reality. You have to do what you do each and every day, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's about that consistency. If you cannot become consistent, then there's no way that you're going to get the results that you're looking for, because success, in my opinion, takes a lot of discipline, a lot of consistency, and it takes hard work and effort. Now, I understand, the ultimate goal, just like for me, is to free myself so I don't have to grind. I don't have to hustle as hard as I do, but I'm just 37, about to be 38. I am almost there, guys. Literally, probably within the next 3 to 5 years, I'll just be teaching and educating, traveling around the world, spreading my brand, teaching people how to do what I do, how to live their life by design. Because this is the reality. Most people out there are in careers that they do not desire. They do not like. They're doing it because they got to make ends meet. But we got to stop that, guys. It's time for us to take control of our life. It's time to live our life by design. How do you do that? Well, you got to figure out what it is you want to do. I don't know what interests you. You know what interests you. I know what interests me. I know what I love doing and what I do. I literally am walking in the path that I have chosen many years ago. I've been doing what I do right now for almost 25 years. So definitely a veteran in the game of construction and real estate. I have a lot of experience. Not only have I flipped properties, but I've held properties, done assisted livings, renovations for homeowners, investors, etc. I've done it all when it comes to real estate and construction. That's why I have so many skills, but it's a blessing because it allows me to turn the ATM on anytime that I need to. And that's the benefit of knowing skills that pays the bills. That's one of the reasons why my ultimate goal is to teach and educate 12 to 25-year-olds, because most kids nowadays don't have any skills. And there's not many programs out there within the school system to teach them skills. But what I'm pushing to teach is entrepreneurship. This country was built off entrepreneurship. Anybody can have a business, literally. Anybody from another country, anybody here in this country can have a business if you go through the process and you set it up. Why can't you have a business on the side while you work a job? Maybe some of you are working jobs, but jobs that you do not like, jobs you hate, jobs that don't bring you satisfaction. So therefore, you should be working on the side, building your side hustle, creating your life as you desire, and building your brand, your business right now. Like, now is the time to get started, guys. Look, this economy is only going to get worse. It's going to get more expensive. Rent is going to rise up even more. Prices of houses will go down, of course. That happens in every correction. But at the end of the day, a lot of this inflation that has happened, it's not going back down. Why would it go down? I mean, let's think about it logically. If people are paying for it, why would they drop the prices? I don't see it happening. I see it staying the same, but at the end of the day, we will see as time goes by. But me personally, I'm not concerned about the gas prices. I'm not concerned about the cost of eggs. I produce my own eggs. I'm not concerned about produce. I produce my own produce. So at the end of the day, you can learn skills that will allow you not to have to depend on certain things. And let me tell you guys something. When you get to the point in your life where you don't have to rely on somebody else and you can do it yourself, that is the greatest gift that you can have. I've been in many situations where if I didn't have the skills I had, if I didn't have the knowledge that I have, I would totally be screwed, like totally screwed. I would have no other options of doing anything else but failing. But because I have the mindset that I have, because I have the skills that I have, because I have the knowledge that I have, I never ever have to worry about making money. That's for sure. I can turn the ATM on anytime. The biggest thing that I'm focused on is that residual passive income. That residual passive income will free you because you're making money regardless if you get out of bed or not. So that has to be our focus moving forward. Even if you're not sure where to get started, there's many things you can invest into that will bring you residual passive income. Me personally, I like real estate the best. It's very lucrative and it's very good for me because of all the knowledge and skills that I have. So most investors out there can't do what I do. They get into a situation, they have to take a loss because they don't have the skills or they don't want to do it. They feel like they're too good to go in there and paint or too good to go in there and do electrical or too good to go in there and do this. But at the same time, they're the ones that's crying about how this person screwed them, that person screwed them, and you know, how they went over budget, etc. You don't need to go over budget if you can do it yourself, right? So that's the benefit of having these skills. I'm a firm believer. Like I've been running businesses for years now, over a decade. And I'm a firm believer that you must learn all aspects of the business first before you can build a team, right? So a lot of this trial and error that I've been going through is because nobody in my family owned and operated a successful business. I am the first one. I didn't have anybody to grab me by the hand and say, hey, Ken, this is what you have to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Now, I didn't have that. I have to pay people, coaches, mentors, etc. And the sad thing about it is a lot of people out there that I paid that the information just was really garbage, outdated, doesn't really work. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get excited, you get enough to go and get started, but you have to learn lessons the hard way because you don't have all the answers. But the only way to get all the answers is by executing. This is the biggest and most important skill set that you can ever learn is the ability to execute, guys. Look, so many people are out there reading books. So many people are out there learning new things from different people, but they don't have the ability to execute. I'm not sure why, but they're afraid because of failure. We can't be afraid of failure because look, it hasn't happened yet. You cannot fail if you haven't even tried it yet. So why would you disregard what you're interested in or stop pushing towards your goals if you haven't even failed yet? You have to do it. And if you do fail, who cares? Get back up and make it happen again. It's just trial and error, guys. You have to go through life learning these necessary lessons. But it's better to learn it young before it gets too late. I can't imagine some of the things that I'm going through happening to me when I reach my 50s. Like that would be really, really difficult, really, really hard. But this is the reality. It's not going to happen to me when I reach 50. Why? Because I'm going through all the hardships now. I'm learning all the lessons now. And because of that, that's why when I reach my 50s, I feel like that's my second win. That's my second life. That's where I can take back control of my life. That's where I can rest. That's where I can travel and not have to worry. I travel now. Look, I've been to many countries. I go on many vacations. But unfortunately, to be honest with you, a lot of times when I travel, I'm there, but I'm not there because I have to answer the phone. I have to put out this fire. I have to put out that fire. I have to pay for this material. I have to pay for that material. I have to send this email. I have to send that email. It's a lot. Trust me. It's not easy running a business whatsoever. I remember when I first quit my job back in 2014, right? I put my notice in 6 months. I didn't just quit. I'm not a quitter, first of all. I put a notice in and I said that my last day is going to be July 14th of 2014. 6 months. Gave them 6 months to find a replacement. Never looked back since then. I really thought when I left from this job that I would be free. But soon after, I discovered that I went from working one job, which I was working 12, 16-hour days, and I started working 5, 6 jobs. Because when you run a business, you have to be the salesperson, you have to be the marketing department, you have to be the accountant, you have to be the one to do the customer service, you have to be the installer, you have to be the review person. It's just a lot of different things you have to do. But once you learn all these things, you can start to teach other people to do the same. And that's a benefit, because at the end of the day, the dream is in the team. So you have to focus on building the team. That's where I'm at right now. I'm focusing on building the team. I got a lot of people in my corner that's really for me, but I also have a lot of people in my corner that's not for me. They act like they are, but they're not. And see, everybody knows counterfeit regardless. You can pretend like you're real, but at the end of the day, you know when a person is real or not. So be your authentic self. Stop trying to be somebody else. Stop trying to act like somebody else and be your authentic self, right? But most importantly, become of value. And we cannot make any excuses, guys. We have to eliminate the excuses. We can't make an excuse about we're going through a hardship right now, so I can't do this. Or I lost my keys, so I can't drive to work. Or, I'm sick today, so I can't go and do this. Look, I go and do it anyway. If I lose my keys, I'm going to find my spare. I have a backup, right? And if I don't have a backup, I will go and get a key made. I'll have them come out to me, print it out, make it, and I will be on my way. It's just some people accept to give up. They accept to stop pushing forward because that's easy. It's easy to say, you know what? I'm done for the day. I'm going to go back and lay in the bed and I'm not going to do anything. But that's a terrible mindset, guys. Why? Because you have to do it anyway. When you don't feel like doing it, you have to push yourself to do it more than ever. And that is the problem with people, is they want everything to be a perfect environment, a perfect situation before you go and execute and make it happen. Nothing in life is perfect, guys. Nothing. And this is the reality too. Nobody's going to save you. When you get into a situation, this is when people run off like roaches. You know how roaches spread, going like that? That's how people are when you get into a distress situation. You only have a handful of people that are really in your corner. I really, truly can only count a handful of people. I don't have 2 handfuls, a handful of people that I can really depend on when I need them. And that's great because those people you have to make sure you spend the most time with, make sure that you're doing the most things with, and make sure you're focusing on building those relationships, because at the end of the day, those are your people. And not everybody's going to be your people, and that's okay. All of us will attract different people that we need to attract at the time. Well, most importantly, guys, we have to get to the point where we believe. One of the biggest things that I push is mindset, body, and execution. If you can't get your mind right, if you have this stagnant mindset of I can't, or I don't know if I should, then look, guys, nothing's ever going to change for you. You got to get to the point where you believe 100% in what you're doing. You have to, because if you don't, then guess what? You're going to get into a situation where you're going to become stagnant. You might become depressed. You might become aggravated. You might become angry. This is a negative mindset. You cannot allow yourself to become negative. You have to stay positive no matter what. What's going on, Russell, man? How you doing, brother? Caught you live, but I'm heading out in a few. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Everything is awesome, man. It's been challenging, but things are starting to work itself out. Why? Because I never stop. I keep pushing no matter what. The pain is temporary. That is one of the biggest things you need to understand. Anything that happens to you, whether you break your hand, you break your arm, you lose your bank account, you lose your keys, it's only temporary pain, but don't allow it to handicap you or restrict you from moving forward. You have to do it anyway. And if you develop that type of mindset, you will be successful. Why? Because even when you get punched in the mouth, you still keep moving forward. You still get back up. Even when you fall down, you get back up and you do it again. It's just like when I go snowboarding, guys. Look, every time I go snowboarding, I expect to fall. Matter of fact, every time I ride my dirt bike, I expect to fall. Why? Because I love to live on the edge, but I love to experiment and I love to really find out what that snowboard can do or what that dirt bike can do. And the only way to do that is actually use it. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not scared of it. I'm not going to get to the point where, oh, I'm not pulling the throttle back. No, I'm pulling that throttle all the way back, 120%. Look, if that thing can break, I'm breaking it. And then I'll fix it and do it again. But I push everything to the limit, including myself, because the more I do that is the more that I grow. And the more that you grow is the more success that you will have. But my primary focus now, guys, is my mindset and residual passive income. If all else fails, keep your mindset good. Get to the point where you become blessed and unstoppable. Because if you continue to blame everybody else for your failures, or you blame this person or that person, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your coworker, Home Depot, whoever it is that you're blaming, I'm here to tell you that you'll never, ever be able to grow. You'll never, ever be able to be successful. You have to get to the point where you take full responsibility for your failures, but realize it's not failures. It's lessons necessary to learn in life to avoid those in the future. And like I said, when you're younger, it's better off learning those lessons young than having to learn these lessons when you get in your 50s, your 60s, etc. I could not imagine. And that's one of the reasons why I grind so hard. First of all, I had no option but to grind. I come from the hood. I grew up in underserved areas, poverty, where you had to do what you had to do to survive, whether that was stealing candy from the store to selling in school so that you can buy lunch and be able to buy yourself shoes or whatever it is you did. You had to do what you had to do. You had to sell drugs. You had to sell drugs. But you don't make that a permanent situation. Why? Because it's wrong. See, at first, I was a product of my environment. I grew up in areas where I thought that was right because that's what other people were doing. That's what people teach you. Oh, it's easy, man. You know, just put it in your pocket and walk out. So you do it. But if you have the right mindset, you realize that that's not right. I didn't work for that. So how can I just take it? But again, sometimes you get into situations where you have to survive, but you cannot stay in survival mode all your life. Now, there will be times along the way where you have to get into survival mode and be willing to do whatever it takes. And trust me, I am too. If shit hits the fan out here and, groceries, you can't get some groceries and stuff like that, guess what? It doesn't matter because I can live off my land. And if it gets even worse, then, I got to go and take and make it happen. But of course, nobody wants to have to do that. And if you do enjoy doing that, then you're just a sick individual because there is no pleasure in taking from anyone. There is no pleasure in taking shortcuts. When you grind, when you work your ass off, when you put in the work, when you go out there and make it happen, that is where the pleasure is. That is where the satisfaction is. That is where the growth will come. That's what builds true character. When you take responsibility for your actions, but also you focus on becoming better each and every day. Again, guys, we got to get to the point where we believe in ourselves. I talk to a lot of people every single day I come across because I'm constantly igniting conversations. I'm constantly communicating to people, great morning. How are you doing today? Great afternoon. How are you feeling? Did you have a blessed day? I'm just that type of person now. I wasn't always like that. I used to be that guy that when you looked at me the wrong way, I'm ready to fight. But what is that? There is no rewards in hatred. We got to stop hating, guys, and we got to start building each other up. At the end of the day, when you start to love one another, where you start to love the people around you that really care about you, that is where the true pleasure comes in. I'm so satisfied with my family, with my wife, because they truly, truly love me. And I have a handful of people out there that love me as well. And there's nothing wrong. Make sure, guys, if you have a wife, if you have a husband, if you have a son, a daughter, and whoever it is that's closest to you, make sure that you tell them that I love you. As a matter of fact, guys, if you don't have anybody telling you that, I'll tell you that I love you. You are special. You are creative. You are incredible. You have the ability to do anything that you desire, but you have to believe. And most importantly, you have to go out there and get your education on what it is you're interested in and then execute. Don't be that person that reads a whole book and you never execute it. You have to read chapter 1, execute. You have to read chapter 2, execute. You have to read chapter 3, execute. That is where the lessons are learned. I go to a lot of events where I meet up with investors and I talk with them. Hey, man, how many deals have you done? You know what they say to me? 0. And I say, oh, yeah? Well, how many events have you been to? You know what they say then? About a dozen. I say, can I give you some advice? Sure. I say, look, man, the only reason I'm here at these events is to network, to find individuals that need my help, my service, possibly private investors that are interested in investing in my deals. But my best advice to you is this: go out there and buy a house. I guarantee you, when you buy a house, you will learn all the necessary lessons that you need to learn. Why? Because you're actually doing. You cannot keep trying to gather all this information and think that because I go to this event or I go to that event, this event, that I'm going to get all the pieces to the puzzle that I need. No, you're going to get confused. Why? Because everybody does things differently. Pick a mentor, pick a coach, and stick with them. And from there, execute. If they tell you to go online and set up an LLC, you go online and set up the LLC. If they tell you to go and build business credit, you go and build business credit, right? You have to do as you're told. Now, after you do what you're told and you get results, now you can start to play around with it, try different things, experiment. There's nothing wrong with that. But do what you're told first so that you can see what it's like to get results. And then from there, you can start to tweak or make those adjustments that you feel is fit for you. Because there is more than one way to skin a cat. I know you guys heard that saying before. There is more than one way to skin a cat. So just because one person tells you one way doesn't mean there's not another way. And sometimes you get into a situation where you have to find another way, or you have to try another way. That way might not work anymore. Why? Because everything is always changing around us. And if you don't focus on change and you don't focus on becoming the best version of you, then guess what? You're going to get left behind. And I'm telling you guys right now, like, the government is not going to save you. Your mom is not going to save you. Your dad is not going to save. Nobody's going to save you. They might at first, but once they see you fail, guess what? They ain't got nothing to do with you again. Why? Because they've already seen you fail. So it's not a surprise, guys, because look, that's what creates fear. Failure creates fear. And when fear sets in, that's where people decide that, hey, this isn't for me, or I'm not interested in investing anymore, or I'm not interested in trying this again. That's terrible. Look, do not allow the fear to restrict you from living your best life. You have to eliminate fear, because fear is a created illusion. It does not exist. All the time I hear from people, Ken, why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Why do you go snowboard? You could break your leg. You're getting older now. What? I don't care how old I'm getting, man. I'm still going to do what I can do until I can't do it no more. Even if I have to have a walker on that mountain with the snowboard, guess what? I'm snowboarding down the mountain with a walker. Like, come on, man. Like, get your mind right. Get yourself together. I love what I do. I plan to do it for as long as I can. And trust me, it might get challenging, even more challenging. Things might happen, but I will adapt. I will overcome, and I will continue to execute regardless. Why? Because it's life. Life happens. It's not a perfect world, guys, but don't focus on being perfect. Focus on becoming better, coming up with those solutions that will allow you to move forward. Repeat after me, guys. I can, I will, and I must. I can because I have two hands, I have two legs, I have a mind, I have a body, I have great health. I must because my family is dependent on me. And the next generation after me is dependent on what I have built for them to continue to push my legacy. You have to build a legacy, guys. You have to create residual passive income. And look, at the end of the day, you will if you make a decision. But if you don't make that decision to execute, then there is no room for growth. Look, I believe in each and every one of you guys. I want you to take the rest of this week and focus on you. Focus on you before you go and take care of anybody else. What I really love to do is I love to wake up in the morning and read, exercise, get my thoughts together, plan out my day, and then I go out there and take care of my projects or I take care of my people. But I'm already taken care of for the day. So what that means is, since I'm already taken care of, guess what? Now I can take care of other people. But a lot of us are trying to take care of other people, but we haven't yet took care of ourselves. It's not going to work. You're going to blow up like a ticking time bomb. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose all kinds of different things because you haven't even got yourself in a position where you can take care of yourself. So focus on you getting yourself right, and then go out there and focus on helping other people, because it is a blessing to be able to give back. And I enjoy giving back. But I just recently started doing it because it took me over a decade to find out what it is I wanted to do. And I'm a firm believer of this. What you did a decade ago dictates where you're at right now. And if you did nothing 10 years ago, you're probably doing the same thing that you were doing back then. And that's sad. I could never see myself doing the same thing for 10, 20, 30 years. Every single year, I continue to level up and add another skill or tool to my tool belt. And that's why I'm a walking ATM. Regardless of what happened, if I lose all my money, if I lose my businesses, guess what? I can do it again. I can do it again. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But I like it hard. I like it hard, and I like it to be challenging. For some reason, it excites me when I get into distressed situations because I realize that is when growth is coming. So I embrace it. I embrace the hardship because the hardship allows me to become a better version of me. And when I become a better version of me, I get that much closer to success. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have moments in your life where you take a loss. That's okay. Live by the 80-20 rule. As long as you're winning 80% of the time and losing 20% of the time, guess what? It's cool. Keep grinding. Till next time, guys, look, stay blessed. Keep pushing. No excuses. Go out there and execute. You guys need any help, any advice, you just want to pick my brain, feel free to reach out to me. I might not respond right away, but I will get back to you. I love doing what I do. I love giving back. I love teaching. I love educating. And I just absolutely am passionate about helping the community because I've figured it out. And because I figured it out, I want to help other people figure it out. The reality is I live my life by design. I do what I want on my terms. If I want to stay in the bed, I stay in the bed. But I got too much hustle, too much grind in me to stay in the bed. So I keep making it happen. What's easy now will be harder later. What's hard now will be easy later. Oh, man, Russell, I love it. I love it. All right, guys, till next time, remember, life is great. Don't be scared. Eliminate that fear and make it happen.